Hello everybody, thank you for watching. My name is David. I'm a life coach and I help people heal and grow from trauma, all kinds of different trauma. Today is my question and answer video I do every single Monday, and I'm answering questions from last Monday. Any questions you guys have, please ask me anything you want. Go down below in the comment section and I'll answer your questions next Monday in the next video. I like to recommend something every week to you guys. Be it a person or an author, their book, or someone else's channel or something I think that can help you guys recover from trauma. Today I want to recommend a book, which I do every now and then. A book. This book, I'm going to read the prefix. Head Off Conflict Right at the Door. Conflict Management Tips for Every Family Visit. For many of us, walking through the door of our parents' home is like stepping back in time. This book is called Going Home Without Going Crazy, How to Get Along with Your Parents and Family Even When They Push Your Buttons by Andra Medea. Sounds like a good book. I have not read it. So if any of you guys do read it, please let me know how it is. I'd love to hear feedback about this. I can't read every book I recommend, and I can't try every single thing I recommend, but I do try to find things I really think will help. And our toxic relationships in our adult life is a direct result of probably the unhealthy relationships we had in childhood. And we need to fix and mend these and learn from them. And a lot of people want to choose to keep unhealthy family in their life. And I think all the information you can use and utilize to help you navigate through that would be great. I think this is something that might be able to help you. So anybody that reads this, please let me know how it is. Thanks. So all I ask from you guys is tell me your locations. Let me know where you're from. I really like to know. And I know most of you guys like to know too. It's just a way for us to feel a little bit more validated. It's not just us or our problem or a country. It's a human problem. It's everywhere there's humans, there's abuse. Sad to say. So please tell us where you guys are at. Thank you very much. And let's just get started right off the bat with the first question or statement from Charlie. I can't remember where you're from. You've told me many times, and I'm sorry I don't remember where you're from, Charlie. But you say, I think the best we can do as individuals is raise awareness. If you know a friend or a family member going through it, introduce them to it. Narcissism awareness. I think it's a mental epidemic on society, often ignored and rewarded, especially in the workplace. People often get ahead by the expense of others if you want to climb the ladder. Social media just adds to overall narcissism. Then you continue to say, I never did Instagram, check Facebook maybe once a day. YouTube and Reddit is all I need. I don't need much social media. I guess my point is, evaluate which social media you truly need and get rid of the rest. Facebook is okay to keep in touch with family, healthy family, community, groups, etc. That's all I use it for. If social media is becoming a means of comparison and validation, it's not healthy. And I see it all the time, and you guys do too. And we're all maybe been guilty of it at some time in our life. But social media, I see people that don't have much of a social life, and they're all about social media. I notice people that have a big social life, not too much about social media. I think you're right, Charlie, and we use these things for people that we already have in our life and we care about. It's not a tools or ways to meet other people either. I think it's a horrible idea. I think online dating, all of it is horrible because you don't want to get to know somebody through typing. You can't. You don't want to get to know somebody just by talking on the phone every once in a while. You really can't. I'm serious. You really got to meet in person and get kind of read affect and get kind of more red flags that we can get. You know, meeting people on social media, typing, texting, stuff like this. People get this false sense of security that they know the person. And by the time they meet them in person, they think they know them and their guards are down. And they really don't know the person. They just know what they're telling them. But yeah, all in all, thanks for leaving that, Charlie. Appreciate you. Next one is from, and I think it's Johanna. I never did get it right. From Norway. Hello. Hey, David, this is a very important day for us. If I think how I feel about my mental and physical health, I can tell that today I don't feel this toxic shame. I don't see this empty spot or black hole in my chest anymore. Good. That's nice, huh? Still, I have fibromyalgia. It's very interesting. Thanks to you, David, and kind people for making us aware about toxic relationships and toxic people who create illness in humanity. And you go on to say you didn't know about this a year ago. You said, my perspective of love and life are changed. In my healing process, I want to help others, especially children. Being real, it's a goal. Just one question. Why every day at night comes to my memory those toxic people? Not all the time, but it's annoying. Do you think that times makes disappear those people in my head? Thanks for sharing this. Hugs. Thank you. Thank you, Johanna. Yeah, you know, people that we share time with and space with, and now they're gone. There's a void until we fill that void. It takes time. But people who have abused us and hurt us, we need to truly, truly understand what happened. And it's just really hard thing to do on your own. With my clients, I help them understand. I help them understand their abuser, where their abuser came from, what their abuser is doing and why. Things that you may not know on your own or understand. We tend to get in the way of this, and we tend to believe that, you know, things are because of us, because of our faults, because of our shortcomings and our own voids, and that's not why people do things. That's why you do things, not why other people do things. And we need to really, really understand that, because if we don't, we have all this shame and guilt that we carry with us, and it's going to keep popping up in your head all the time. I don't know you, but it sounds like you have more healing to do, and it's not just about time. You need to get this kind of stuff out. Okay, we have thoughts that we need to get out. We have feelings we need to get out, or we hold them inside and we're all alone with them. Okay, Johanna? Try talking to somebody about all of it. And if you have before, do it again. Okay, thank you. Tracy, don't know where you're from. Leave us your locations, please. Tracy says, I appreciate you answering questions with a question. Almost like we already know the answer. You guys do. It's in there already. We love hearing your advice and opinion. Even though you don't like telling us what to do, but we trust in your judgment, which is why we ask. Excellent as always. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you very, very much. I love it when you guys tell me nice things. Thank you. And Sarah from Scotland. Hi, Sarah. Hi, David. I love your videos. They are very helpful. I just wanted to ask you what narcissists think about their parents. How do they treat them? Thanks, Sarah from Scotland. Well, good question. And I like these. I told you I like questions like this. It helps me think. And it's not a specific, what will somebody do? You know, I don't know. And I hate claiming that I know. Or anybody that claims that they know is... But generally, what do narcissists think about their parents? How do they treat them? Well, all kinds of different ways, right? Narcissists are formed in different ways. There's not even a pinpoint reason or how narcissists are formed. It's called inappropriate parenting. And I think that there's different ways that narcissists are formed. And I think there's different kinds of parents, and narcissists treat their parents differently. But I think there's also some things I can touch on. Narcissists are formed, and when I say this, I always get like a mother whose child is a narcissist, and they're like, I didn't do that, I didn't do that. And you either may not have done it, your husband may have done it, you know, or your other spouse that raised your child may have done it, somebody else may have done these things. I'm not saying you have, but what there is there's always an emotional neglect factor, and all the attention put on physical things. Performance, what you do, and when you do that, they always feel like they're not enough, not good enough. And a lot of us have been raised that way. We know that too. And I think that they've been. It's not. So you've got this mixture of emotional neglect, and then all the focus on physical, what you do, and parents might really praise that. You're so good looking. You did so good in sports. You're so good at school. You're so smart. You're smarter than all the other kids. You're the best athlete in your class. You're the best looking person in your class. Do you see how all that emphasis is on physical? And that's never enough. So the child feels like they're never doing enough. and they have to perform. They have to achieve that best to get attention from their parents, and with lots of emotional neglect. Does that make sense? There's also all kinds of other things that happen. There could be trauma. Typically, they're not very respectful to their parents. They don't really care. Narcissists objectify people, so they don't care. They don't see the humanity in them. They don't care about who people are. So people are exploited, which means they're objects. And so parents provide something, and that's it, okay? And there could be many different things the parents provide, but that's it. And any disordered person has weird relationships with their parents. Their parents could have been, a narcissist's parents could have been horrifically abusive, and they might still keep them in their life. Very common with borderlines too. Narcissists could very well leave their families, never talk to them again as well. So I think what the biggest things I've noticed, the biggest, is that narcissists are addicted to this kind of praise, because it's never enough from their parents. If their parents never loved them but just appreciated what they did, then the child needs that all the time. The child didn't learn to do it themselves. So they will often look to the parent to make them feel good, to give them praise. They might go to the mom, or usually the mom, if they're having relationship problems and stuff like that, like what we might all do. I think it's important to realize that it's toxic. It's usually a toxic, unhealthy, codependent relationship, and it usually stays that way forever, typically. So borderlines were traumatized immensely, and they'll keep their abuser and the person who traumatized them, they might keep them in their life forever, and then hate on them one day, love them the next day, hate on them one day, love them the next day, and it's that alternating idealization to value every day with their parents. Whereas a narcissist, they're addicted to that praise, admiration, attention, and so if they need to, they'll resort back to their parents to get it, okay? Or they'll be using their parents for money, for status. Make sense? Narcissists, almost all are codependent, so they're dependent on, and it started with their parents. That's where it started. So usually those relationships don't end, just as if I try to tell people to walk away from their toxic families. Enough is enough. But people with disorders tend to keep toxic people in their lives. Hope that makes sense. Please keep asking. Thanks. Next one's from Sharon in Tasmania. Hello, Sharon. Hi, David. Sharon from Tasmania. I hope you are well. Thank you. I hope you are too. I was wondering if you would mind me posting updates on your channel throughout my journey, as it's still ongoing and after leaving him for 4 years ago. That's what my channel's for. Really, guys, really. Vomit up if you need to. Get it out. If it's better than writing it just down for yourself and nobody else sees it, if it's better to do it down there, dump it all out. Seriously, I don't mind at all. That's what it's for, honestly. And don't be afraid of ridicule. I'm on it. I'm all over my channel, and I make sure that there's no unhealthy, toxic, bad comments. I get rid of them. I don't need to let them have a voice if they're going to be negative and ugly. This isn't the channel for that. So please, Sharon and everyone, feel free to talk about your past and divulge things that make you feel better and get it from the inside to the outside, and maybe get some feedback and stuff and support. Okay? Please, that's what this channel's for. I really would like this channel to be for you guys, your channel. Okay? Source of information, a place you feel validated, and maybe some connection built together. And learn. Thank you. Music Junkie 1993 from California. Hello. I started a friendship recently. I thought it was going well. Then one day I was told they doubted my behavior. When I asked what behavior I had to make them feel that way, they said I didn't call when I said I did on 3 separate occasions. This was the first time they had brought it to my attention. I was flabbergasted. I apologized. But I was given 3 strikes. I am out. I am confused. I thought people are complex and we make mistakes. I didn't think their reaction was proportionate to my misdeed. Was this a healthy discard? Is there doubt a BPD trait, or was I truly in the wrong? Thank you. I would like to not repeat this pattern if it is something I could fix. Well, that's very nice that you want to fix and you have some insight and you're willing to admit you're wrong. Are you sure you apologize to the person? You said you apologized. Did you explain to them what you did wrong and why? maybe you didn't. And you said, was this a healthy discard? There's no such thing as a healthy discard. And that's a word people use a lot, and I think they misunderstand the word discard. Discard is a term that we use for throwing what? Throwing garbage away, right? So did your friend throw you away like garbage? In other words, did they exploit you during your relationship? Did they objectify you and then throw you away like a piece of garbage and didn't explain anything to you? Or did they tell you it's because you lied to them? You said a pattern you wouldn't like to repeat, then don't lie. And if this is you said you just started this friendship recently, but then, and I think you're admitting that you lied, right? And so if somebody wants to end the relationship, they have that right to, of course, for any reason. But if you just started a relationship, a friendship with somebody, and you lied to them and they ended it, that you can't really call that a bad thing or unhealthy. And I'm sorry if they discarded you like a piece of garbage. If they did, are you sure they did? Or did they tell you it was because you lied? That's not really a discard, is it? You want to know what to do to not repeat this behavior? Then look back and ask yourself why you told them you called them if you did not. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know if I got this all right, but it seems like you told them you called this person 3 times, but you didn't. You lied. So, I mean, don't do that. Find out why you did that. Like passive-aggressive behavior is something that we're all guilty of. Sometimes we're not totally aware that we did it. And once we are aware of it, or somebody points it out to us, then we can look back and say and realize, oh, I'm doing this maybe because I'm scared to be vulnerable. And so maybe you need to start allowing yourself to be vulnerable and just say, hey, I didn't call you. You know, I don't know all the details to this. But I'm very sorry for the loss of your friendship. I really am. The best thing always is to learn as much as you can from it. If there's something you believe you did wrong, then figure out what you could have done to make it better. But you can't keep ruminating about it, right? If you're still upset and you said this person discarded you. If they discarded you like garbage, then I would leave them alone. If you need more explanation and they never explained it to you, maybe reach out again and apologize again. And it's hard for me to give you advice. I don't like to tell people what to do. I don't know the context completely, and say this person's abusive, you don't want to keep reaching out to them. But if this person told you that they can't talk to you anymore because you lied to them, there's really not much else you can do about it except don't do it again. Learn from that. Does that make sense? And that's something I would like to talk about more, is that term discard. You have ending a relationship, you have breaking up with somebody, you have breaking up with somebody not in a nice way, and then you have discard and you have abandonment. But not every breakup is a discard, and that's something I've seen a lot of people use that term for. I discarded my narcissist. Well, that's not nice either. What do you mean? You wrap them up in a big ball and throw them in the dumpster? Or you just ended the relationship. That's not really a discarding somebody, unless somebody is an object, a piece of garbage, right? So anyways, I'm sorry for your loss. I hope that this person didn't treat you like a piece of garbage. And if they don't mistreat you and you need more of an explanation, you can try and reach out for a better explanation. Apologize thoroughly and tell them why you think you did that, and ask them if they can forgive you again. I don't know, but you also got to make sure you don't get hurt. Maybe talk to a professional about it if it bothers you. Definitely. Okay. Thank you. Please keep asking me more questions if you have them. Jenny Lee. Let's see if we know where she is from. Jenny's from. Nope. Please leave us your locations, guys. Thank you. Jenny says, oh my, yet another abusive relationship I think I just came out of. I just spent the past 7 weeks talking to a guy I met on a phone line. We never even met in person. He kept making excuses. However, I immediately started feeling things for him, and he told me a few times he isn't looking for love. But we ended up talking on the phone, sometimes 20 hours a day. I felt like we were bonding. He was definitely sending the wrong message. I felt like I could love him forever. If you knew him for 7 weeks, how would you know you could love him forever? You don't even know you could love him now. Are you saying that you're in love with him in 7 weeks on the phone? Ouch. Ooh. I see some problems. I felt like I could love him forever and like he needs me to rescue him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Rescue him from what? Where is he? What's he in? What's wrong with him? Now I'm brokenhearted. I'm sorry. Because last night I got angry and I told him to delete my phone number. I have not heard from him. How easily he forgot me after talking on the phone for 7 weeks. Empaths, be careful. Everyone, be careful. Meeting people on the phone. Meeting people on the internet. It takes a long time to get to know somebody, and it's even harder on the phone. It's not a good idea. No. Going back to what you said earlier, I hope you don't believe that you loved him in 7 weeks on the phone. I definitely don't want to dismiss your feelings. I just want to put things in perspective for you, Jenny. Everyone watching this video has dated people for months, years, sometimes decades, and didn't know them. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. 20 years, 30 years, I didn't know he was like that. Not just in the beginning, not just when they got married, the whole time. I didn't know that he was a cheater, a liar, a piece of crap. I didn't know until now. Took that long to get to know someone. You did not know him, Jenny. We've got to wait. And you said you ended up talking on the phone sometimes 20 hours a day. There's only 24 hours a day. That you're denying yourself of physical needs to talk to him. Here's emotional. Real quick, I love to bust these out, don't I? Emotional security, attention, connection, autonomy, privacy, friendship, intimacy, part of a wider community, status within a social group, competence, achievement, meaning, and purpose. Your guys' relationship needed this. Impossible. Talk on the phone 20 hours a day. Impossible. That you're already going without sleep, maybe even food. Maybe showering. I don't know. Maybe going to the bathroom. But, yeah. Very extremely unhealthy, Jenny. I'm sorry. I would recommend totally learning what a good relationship takes and start building up our self-worth before we try to enter another one. Okay? I'm really sorry that this hurts so bad. I really am. Know that the pain is trying to teach you something. So try to learn from it, okay? Thank you. Let's do Uno Mas. Emily from Latvia. Hello, Emily. Hello, David. I hope you are doing well. Well, thank you. I am. Many thanks for bringing up Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day. You are welcome. Have signed Shane's petition. I hope this will become law very soon. Thank you for doing that. I do too. I have 2 questions. Why do narcissists hardly ever keep promises? Well, because being a man of your word or a woman of your word means you have integrity. Okay? So if you tell me, Emily, you list all the things that are important to you. And I mean all the things that you value, okay? And you're going to, who knows what you're going to write on there, right? But what I'm going to pull out of this big long list that you have of things you value are morals. Because I hope to God you value some morals, Emily, and I think you do. Most people just on here asking questions usually do. And so you're going to say, I value morals like honesty, loyalty, respect, and to observe these things is to have integrity, to hold yourself true to these things. Okay? When someone says all you have is your word, that saying is one of the most amazing sayings ever in human history. Because it can't be more true. You don't have anything else but your word. You give someone your word, you better keep it. You notice narcissists say one thing and do another, don't they? Their word means nothing. I have people that come and talk to me, and it takes me hours to get them to understand that every single word that came out of their ex's mouth is a lie. So let's not try and say, well, yeah, but my ex said this to me. Well, remember, he lies. Well, I know, but that part's true. So what? It's all BS. I don't care if some of it's true. I said before, it's like sifting through a big pile of crap and wondering which parts don't smell. Oh, that one's okay. This one's okay. We'll keep that. But the rest is crap, yeah, but I found some good parts, and so that part is good, and I'm going to hold on to that. No, narcissists don't care about who people are on the inside because they don't know who they are on the inside. And if narcissists say that I care about honesty and loyalty and respect, right? What do? They lie, they cheat, and they steal. And they treat people with disrespect. So they don't know who they are. If I say I'm honest, and then I lie, I don't know who I am. So I advise all of you to plant your morals firmly into the ground and make them principle in your daily life. Do not move them out of the way for anybody. Do not lie to anyone, and do not allow anyone to lie to you. Same with abuse. Narcissists move these around so much they don't have them anymore. And the more you move around, the easier it gets to cheat, lie, and steal. The easier and easier it gets, to the point where your word means nothing. Even the person saying it knows it. Second question. Why would narcissists never be close to kids' life, especially during important moments, like teaching them how to swim or ride a bicycle or teaching them reading, etc.? I have been living with a covert narcissist for 12 years, and I have never experienced he would be close to his kids. To all survivors, heal, rediscover. You have strength to start over. All the best. Thank you. So, one of the biggest lessons I have to teach my clients, and it was one of the biggest lessons I needed to learn, and I didn't know until I got into my 40s. And I was so painfully mistaken. So wrong. Couldn't be more wrong. I thought everybody valued the same things that I value. Didn't you? Don't you guys? Didn't you? Either don't you now or didn't you? Don't you think everybody kind of values honesty and loyalty and integrity and respect? No. And we don't have to say that people that don't are bad, and we don't have to call ourselves good. Okay? You value some things, and not everybody values the same things. Not everybody is like you. Big lesson to learn. Big lesson to learn. Lesson number 1. Not everybody values the same things that you value. And guess what? The number 1 requirement is to have people in your interpersonal life is that they value the same things you value. At least the same morals, okay? We're all equal. We're all equal, but we are all so different. Remember that. Know that. Okay? You have a list of morals that you value, and anyone in your life must value the same things, same morals. And how do you know if they do when you meet them? You don't. You don't. Can't. It takes time. It takes time. And we give that time. We allow that time. That's the beautiful part of the process. We don't stay on the phone and talk on the phone with somebody for 20 hours a day after we just met them. We don't tell them all the painful traumas in our life and describe our last relationship, to the perfect T. We take time. We talk, we give it a few days, a week, and then we hang out again, and then we keep it light, and we talk about it a little bit. And this process is easier the less codependent you are, because the more codependent you are, the faster this process must be. And I must meet someone now, and I got to go out on a dating site, and I can't wait to be my future husband, wife, father, mother of my children, and I just want a girlfriend, I just want a boyfriend, I just want somebody to go do this with and somebody to go do that with. You've got somebody to do all that stuff with, you, right here, inside. And if you're lonely and you're bored and you're anxious and you're depressed, then you don't realize that. Find this. Find yourself, okay? Do it, please. You're worth it. Beautiful people inside there. Always, okay? That's the end of part 1. Thank you, guys. If you could help me by subscribing to my channel, please. By voting up or down. Leave a question, leave a comment. emotionally throw up all over it, and post this places and give it to people you think that can benefit from it. Put it in a playlist, things like that really, really help me. Thank you guys. Love yourself first. I'll see you in part 2. Bye-bye.